Oh, you!
My crimes are horrible.
That wasn't a fake laugh this time at all. All right, hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, I'm the one.
Are we ready?
Now we can be.
Sweet. Hi, welcome to Basements and Besties, the Dark Lanterns of Sharn, a actual play, advanced 5th edition level up game, a game by Ian Publishing. We are Basements and Besties. My name is William Tramp or Will or Tramp or the SFNGM, whatever you'd like to call me. I am the narrator for this fine game, which is, I believe, sponsored by Ian Publishing. We're not actually quite sure, but if you guys want to continue to sponsor us and send us more money, we would love it. Anyway, we're here to play a game. Huh? Hey! All right. Let's go ahead and start off tonight's session with a question for all of your guys' characters. The question tonight for your character is going to be, what is something that your character is proud of, but doesn't necessarily advertise? We're going to go ahead and start off tonight with Dennis.
I'm Dennis. My character is the Warforged Adept, RJ. He is exploring his place in humanity while defending the safety of Breland. And he is proud of and doesn't advertise Warforged tattoos, specifically military. Those that have been in battle with him or in his unit, or others that have found him, he's found a way to mix in art with a styling and does tattoos that he keeps quiet, but those that want them to symbolize the same thing as a military person's of a living person's type. He has one for Warforge.
Interesting. I love that, actually. I like to imagine a world of magic and technology that the ability to tattoo metal flesh is something that can happen. Just it's an interesting thing to imagine there. Okay, well, let's go ahead and we're going to move here from Dennis. We're going to move to, oh my goodness, who are we going to? We're going to Colin.
Hello, I am Colin. I play Braak, the bugbear berserker who finds life a bit dull without an explosion every now and then. Something that Braak is proud of. He doesn't, you can't really... Let me try again. It's not something that he necessarily hides, but he also doesn't talk about it. He has a lot of pride in his, I don't know, I don't want to just say physical strength, but he puts work into maintaining his physique.
Just so he works out?
Yeah, he works out. A lot of people, it feels like a lot of people just oh yeah, he's a bugbear, of course he's strong, but no, he actually puts in the work.
No, he's
other bugbears are like, that dude's swole. Whereas everyone else is like, that dude's a bugbear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. When somebody recognizes it, he's like, yes, okay, thank you.
He does CrossFit.
This doesn't just happen. Brock
he's
never
standing
skips
in there shaking ropes.
Never skips leg day.
Using shake weights.
I definitely see
Taruk
Taruk using shake weights. Yeah, Taruk.
Absolutely.
You now remember that the shake weight exists.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
And so do you.
You're welcome, everyone at home. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move to Adelaide, to Cassie.
Hi, I'm Cassie. I play Adelaide, a human bard whose own story has stepped outside of her Dragonmark house. Something that Adelaide is proud of, but she doesn't really, advertise. It's actually something that her friend Frances mentioned, is that she's a pretty good cook. She gets it from her dads, are also pretty good at cooking and such things. She is as well, but she doesn't really flaunt it a lot. She doesn't always get the time. She's somewhat busy with other things, but she's a pretty good cook.
Well, when you have 3 kids at home, it's very difficult.
3 kids, a business, a second business, a secret third business.
And performing on the weekends.
Yes.
All right, well, excellent, wonderful cooking. I'm looking forward to see that coming up. We're going to go ahead and move to Sarah.
I'm Sarah, and
Oh.
I'm playing Dee, who is a human rogue that is looking to find her place in a world without war. Dee doesn't talk about it, but she is very, very proud of where she came from. She takes that I am from the poorer side of Sharn and rose up to pull myself up by my bootstraps, got arrested, and then conscripted into an army. Sort of story.
Yeah,
Like,
that Laura Dura story. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the Braylor story, right?
pride.
You know, that's.
This city was built on our backs, damn it.
Meanwhile, a goblin sitting there looking at you like,
It's okay, I'm friends with a goblin.
Whoa!
There it is.
Ooh, there it is.
Have fun
Okay, we're
editing.
gonna move on as quickly as possible to Connor.
I feel like I have probably the least big, but Colton actually takes pride
You should
in the fact-
introduce yourself first.
Hi, I'm Connor. I play Colton, the human warlock who made a deal with death, but he did not check the terms. Colton is proud of the fact that he feels like he's a very tidy person. He is not a messy person. He actually, a lot of around the house, like, you know, he picks up after himself. He tries to keep a nice living space. He grew up with 3-4 siblings. Like, you don't get on mom's bad side. You keep things clean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I like to imagine just the kids running through the room, and you just sort of walk over and just take the lamp, and you're like,
Yep, just, leave a little trash somewhere. Toss it.
let's go ahead and get that picked up. I imagine his patience with the children is probably a lot better than many of the others, even though he seems to be very awkward with the children.
He hasn't been around kids in a long time, but yeah, truly, I do imagine he tries very hard to be patient with the kids, because yeah, he knows what younger siblings are like.
Right. Well, last session, you guys continued your investigation you continued the Nimblewright investigation. You had spoken with the proprietor, I suppose, of the Nimblewrights. And why don't you tell me a little bit about who you spoke with? Who was selling the Nimblewrights that you found out about?
The Nimblewrights were being sold by Captain Maurice Botat, who runs the circus that's on two boats.
Cirque d'Etonnement. Mhm.
Yeah, Cirque d'Etonnement. And he, after talking with him and telling him how a Nimblewright, one of these really good deal Nimblewrights that maybe fell off the back of a ship, was responsible seemingly for blowing up the market square over in Clifftop, he did release the name of those who purchased the Carol Lynn lookalike Nimblewright.
And who were the people that purchased the Nimblewright?
They are the Lantars, the Eel Lantars. They are the Ondarian ambassadors in Sharn.
Yeah.
A very, very prominent political family.
Mm-hmm. And what do you know? What did you learn about the Lantars last week?
We learned quite a few things. They recently adopted several orphan children, refugees.
Who are the Lantars? What can you guys tell me about the Lantars themselves?
Comprised of two brothers, Helias and Elias.
Mm-hmm.
I
Two
said it-
twins. in
Twins,
fact.
yes.
Twin brothers, Elias and Helias.
And we found out where they live in the villa in Middle High Tower. Mid-Central Tower or something like to that effect. And then that they are going to be hosted. They are normally seen going to a gala event.
Well, they have been seen. That's not a normal affair. I want to be kind of clear on that. I think there's a
Okay.
little bit of confusion about the biggest, fanciest party of the year. This is I believe your father's mentioned that they may be found there, as any of the elite of Sharn may be found at an Urtang gala, but this is not a normal thing to do. It's a fancy get together that happens. But yeah, you did find that they could be found there.
And they're also very young for the position of ambassador.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, well, you in your investigations, you all split off into different directions. Dennis, what did what did Dee and RJ end up doing?
We went to the city archives, and specifically because RJ knew of a former contact of his, or a former military buddy of his that works deep down in the basement in some of the city planning. And so we went down to meet up with Clicks, also
The name is Talos, but you guys call him Quick. But
Yeah,
what did you
I was gonna say
manage to
Talos
get
Hicks.
from him?
And specifically, we were able to get a schematic of the towers that they live in.
Dragonhawk Villa, I believe. is what it's called.
Dragonhawk.
Yep.
Thank you. Dragonhawk Villa. That we got the schematics for it. Talked about a couple of other things, but specifically, he said he could get some of it if we had a lot more time. But this was what he had available right now, and without getting into more information, this was what he had available. So we accepted it, and as we were leaving, Deidre asked to step aside for a second, and that's when we faded out.
Yep. And then you went to you decided that you were gonna try to see about utilizing a connection of yours as well. What were you attempting to do?
Yeah, I went to see one of my dads, my dad Seamus Dorian, and asked him if he and Papa knew of the Irlantars, and if they sort of knew more about sort of their social lives and sort of how they like move about in society here, if they had any like regular events, and also if my dads had met them, sort of letting him know that I was interested in maybe meeting them if I could find a way to do so.
Yep, and I believe that Seamus did say that he would see if he can
Yes.
see about getting you guys a meeting, although how long that may take,
Right.
we're a little unsure. So during all of that, the two of you, Colton and Braak, had decided to hit the streets looking for information about Dalachar, the gnome at the center of the fireball, according to Bonell or Nalvio. So you two have decided to hit the streets to try to find some information about Dalachar, if I'm not mistaken?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so why don't you guys go ahead and tell me, kind of give me just an idea of your approach to this. What is your plan to, how are you going to approach finding this information?
Well, I think the easiest way would probably be to look where we suspect he probably frequented. It sounded like he had connections or had a conflict with Dask. So looking in the lower regions of the area, lower regions of Sharn may not be a bad place to start.
Yeah.
CD bars, backroom dealings, that kind of thing.
I think specifically maybe in the district where we found the entrance to that desk hideout.
Well, that was a warehouse district.
That was a word.
Oh, okay.
You're in a warehouse district
So
when you
that
found that.
it wouldn't have
But starting the lower districts, okay, so that kind of starts
Lower-
showing off
lower
in
Jura.
the general area, believing that there may be a connection to Dask due to the sewer scum that you found on the
yeah.
shoe.
It's
okay.
it's a long shot.
So
but,
okay,
yeah.
so that's where you're going. But what is your approach to this? So that's where, but what's the approach? What are you doing? Are you like trying to like track footprints? Are you trying to talk to people?
I imagine talking to people is probably going to be
Yeah.
the easiest to start.
I feel like a gnome probably stands out.
Sounds like a plan. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. As you begin your investigations, what I need is I need you, one of you two is going to make me a charisma investigation check. This is going to represent your ability to find the information you need, talk to the right people, but also using your just general presence to be able to make this happen. So one of you is going to make a charisma investigation check with advantage from the other.
13 total. 13
13 to
13 for investigation charisma for me.
Oh,
so.
you did the roll already.
No, I didn't do the roll. I'm saying that's what my total is. Do you want me to do
You
the
have a
roll?
plus 13.
You have a plus 13?
No, plus 3. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
My
So
brain number's bad.
I have a plus 2 and a d4.
Plus 2 and a D4?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so that would mean, statistically speaking, yours is
Yeah.
the same, if not higher than this.
You go for it.
Okie doke. I will do that.
Yeah, so this is, you have a D4 just straight up investigation? Oh, this would be gathering, this would be,
It's from my background. Yeah.
yeah, okay, sure. And I would say that this is gathering rumors, is what this would be,
Okay.
if this applies to the situation as well. So, okay, so go ahead and give me that charisma investigation check.
Looking like a dirty 20.
Alright, 20. Okay, sounds good. It doesn't take you long, relatively speaking. A few hours of talking to people, kind of backtracking this information. You talk to a couple of people, maybe through the market and Clifftop, where people had seen him running through, and kind of got a general idea of how his dresser looks like. You head down to various lower districts, seeing if anybody has seen a face that looks like what's been described to you, and This investigation, eventually you are told in a seedy bar somewhere down in Lower Dura that a gnome fitting that description was in there drinking at some point a couple of months ago. Made an impression though, because he was throwing money around like it was throwing money around, and people notice when people throw money, that kind of money around. Talking about how he lives out somewhere in, he's from Tavik's Landing. Guy kept talking about how the bars in Tavik's Market are much better, apparently, than ones down here.
Maybe you gotta go up there and drink there if he's got a problem.
Yeah, exactly, you get it. So your investigations eventually lead you to Middle Tavik's Landing in a ward called Tavik's Market, and you find yourself standing outside of the Inn of the Dripping Dagger. After you'd spoken to a couple of people in that area as well, you learned that Dalachar, that this gnome may have been was staying at least for a time in the Inn of the Dripping Dagger. The Inn of the Dripping Dagger. Well, let's talk about Tavik's Market for just a moment here. So Tavik's Market. I am so sorry. Oh, there we go. Oh, my brain is shutting down. Help! Traders and travelers fill the open market of Tavik's Market, offering food, crafts, and spirits from across Corvair. The crowd is loud and bustling, but the city watch is in force here, helping to maintain order and discipline. In the distance, you can hear the sound of the Orion trains taking off from Terminus, which is the district directly below Tavik's Market. So this is probably like the first market stop for travelers coming from overland from outside of Sharn. So it's very busy.
Airport Mall, got it.
It's very, Import Mall, right? And you see there's all kinds of colorful characters here. You see nearby there's a Dragonborn who is delighting the crowd by blowing strings of fire. And doing kind of a fire breathing routine, but literally just for their fire breathing routine.
Just do it,
fire breathing routine for the crowd, and you make your way to the Inn of the Dripping Dagger. Inside the Inn of the Dripping Dagger, you find at the front desk there's an older woman in relatively kind of like modest clothing. Checking she is just finishing up checking in a couple of people who take their bags and start to head upstairs. As she looks to you and says, "Oh, hello. How can I help you today? Would you be needing one room or two?"
We were actually looking for a friend of ours who we think he mentioned staying here, and
he said I think this is where he said he was staying, and we just want to make sure we have the right place.
Yeah, no, a gnome fella. You might have seen him.
Gnomish. Oh yeah, I believe we had a
about this tall. Braak says, holding a hand above the counter.
I know what a gnome is, sir.
Okay.
We've had a number of gnomes in. I do believe that we had a gentleman fitting your description here a few months ago. Still renting a room now that I think about it. It was paid in full for about half a year or so.
Oh. Are you at liberty to say which room so we can go talk to him?
Well, I'm not in. Well, yes, sure. He's. Who did you say you were again?
We're personal friends of his.
Go ahead and give a deception check.
Okay.
You were very quiet here, so you're just going to make this check.
Okay. This is just a straight +2. Hooray! Oh yeah, that's a 9. I might spend a coin if we're
sure. Yeah, you can spend a coin.
Yeah.
Sure. Go do that reroll.
That's better. That's a 17.
Okay, 17. She goes, all right, I see. Well, I will let you know, I haven't seen him around in some time, actually, but he was staying in room number 15 up on the third floor. But I haven't seen him in quite some time, actually, which is why I'm so surprised for you to be asking about him.
That's strange to hear.
But It's possible that he also keeps odd hours. I'm not here all of the time. We have many different shifts throughout the day as we have travelers from all over the world.
Quite a metropolitan area. Makes sense.
Yes, indeed. Well, yep. Well, you could try him there.
Excellent. Thank you for your time, miss. We appreciate it.
Of course.
Let's go at him and see if he's home.
Yeah, might have just missed him.
Spoiler alert: he's not home.
Oh,
Oh,
He's
yeah.
dead.
where could he be?
Okay, so you guys head upstairs and you guys find yourself sitting outside of room 15.
Okay.
15. Well,
For the sake of the investigation, I will not kick the door down.
respectable, but we also don't have our resident nimble fingers with us.
That's true.
As you guys are kind of standing outside the store, making this debate, you see that you note a gnoll kind of walk out of a room and sort of see you all there, and he goes and just sort of walks off.
I'll kind of like.
A good one.
All right. Well, I guess we'll check the easy option. I will just kind of casually see if the door's unlocked.
The door is not unlocked. It is in fact locked.
Was worth a chance checking.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not exactly D, but I could give it a shot at getting this thing open.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
What do you think?
Well, I was like, based off of where we now know the room is the exterior wall that this window would be behind, if there is in fact a window, I'm assuming there is that like a street-facing window or an alley-facing window?
Or you would bet it would be an alley-facing window.
Okay.
You want to try maybe going from the outside?
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know.
All right. Yeah. So we'll we just say he wasn't home and we'll be on our way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We'll go back downstairs, and as we kind of pass, I'll kind of go, "You're right. Actually, he wasn't home. So I guess we need to start looking for him."
Well, I hope you're able to find him soon. You notice that in the waiting room, there's that same gnoll, along with a couple of other gnolls, who are sitting there kind of dressed in like rough leathers, and they're sort of kind of laughing at each other, kind of going as they talk. Gnolls when they speak laugh, kind of have that laugh sound, and one of them sort of shoots you a dirty look. Good one. You remember yourself saying in the hall as this gnoll just spoke the way he speaks. So they sort of just give you a side eye.
Yikes!
No, so
My bad.
a group of gnolls giving you a side eye there. So you guys head around back.
We will kind of try to inconspicuously head around back.
Okay, so go ahead and give me a stealth check to represent your inconspicuous.
I will not have my sartorial defense enabled, so as not to give myself this.
If I'm not mistaken, that takes you about how long to get out of that?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. So in the middle of the street, you start just kind of doing stretches and
Yeah. Just give me. I gotta limber up a little bit.
Mine doesn't affect my stealth, so I'm not worried.
So you just kind of stop for a second and just montage of you just stretching. Somebody comes by and maybe like tosses like a copper into copper at your feet, thinking that you're doing some sort of bit, and continues on. Wow, this place is Sharn is so strange.
He's been practicing for years, really.
Thank you.
And okay, so we're gonna give me that stealth check. We'll see if you guys can.
I would like to use a coin.
Sure.
I got a 19.
Much better. Also a 19.
Okay, sounds good.
Wow.
So you guys managed to get back around. You can see that there is a little. You have an idea where the window is, where you believe the room should be. There's a kind of one of those obviously there's like a fire escape ladder sort of thing.
Okay.
Running up the side of the building.
Cool.
So sure. So it doesn't take long for you guys to get up there. You get up the fire escape, and you're sitting outside of the window. The window is locked.
No worries. Can we see into the room?
No, the curtains have been drawn.
Okay, shoot. So no mage hand. If I could see inside the room...
Well, you can actually see where the locking mechanism, though, is for it. You can't see inside the room, but you can see the locking mechanism from the window.
The latch would be outside of the curtains.
Oh, that's true. So I will attempt to conjure up an ethereal hand just kind of right there to...
Sure, it definitely works. You're able to slide the window open. Cool. You make your way inside, and you find yourself standing in a modest room. You see, there's a bed. There's a bed. There's a chamber pot. That's a desk. A little modest room.
Well,
I guess the.
Brock's gonna start checking the desk, I guess.
I'll start looking around the bed, see if anything's under the pillows, under the bed, and under the blankets.
Hey, sure. One moment. My children have arrived. Yep. Yeah, what's going on?
August.
Let's take a quick 5.
Let's take a quick 5. I'm not going to pause the recording to make it easier for myself.
No, I understand.
But I will pause the timer.
Yay, we're doing break-ins!
Yay! We're doing some fancy schmancy, not causing a fuss break-in.
We are, yes.
I like that.
I forgot you had Mage Hand. That was a good pick.
I know. I'm really happy about that. Windows. Truly, what are they but nature's doors?
You need to save that one for when we're on camera, because that's very
I know,
good.
right? I'll save it for when we're really just windows. What are they but nature's doors? Just watch Will just what? Look, Colton isn't dumb, but he grew up in a he was just a simple working boy who joined the army.
Yeah. I was telling Will earlier today, I'm happy because I'm starting to get a better idea of like what this character is actually like. I have been trying not to be overly specific with what character I have in mind when I like start a new campaign, and just sort of like have a general framework, but then find the character.
I feel like I'm easing more into Colton too, so I feel that a little less moody and brooding, and just a little more kind of like trying to be lighthearted in the face of knowing he's in a bad situation.
Yeah. I feel like Braak has evolved a little bit from generic tough guy to actually kind of a smartass.
Oh, he's great. I love it.
But gets really excited about the things that he likes.
Oh yeah. A man of simple comforts, but not simplicity.
And he also very clearly has a lot of gaps in like social scenarios and
Yep. Ironic that
knowing what butterflies are.
Ironic. We're the ones hitting the street talking to people, asking questions, and we're probably two of the least social. That's not true. I have expertise in intimidation. And I have expertise in detecting lies.
It's a good thing to have expertise
so
in.
if that old lady had lied to us.
Braak's character flaw is that he's a terrible judge of character, so it's good that we have you.
It's great.
Yeah, when all of us are together, if both you and I are in a room, there should never be a chance somebody gets a lie past both of us.
Nope.
Like, that is a bad rolling day if we both miss somebody lying to us.
I imagine we're in a room kind of casually, like, spread around the room talking to somebody, says something, we both just...
Yeah, later on there's going to be a signal.
Yeah. It's like, we're out of the room. That fuck is lying through his teeth.
I mean, I have a stance that my passive insight is 18.
Nice.
Like, and that's before we start adding anything else to it.
Mine is only 15.
Okay.
Well, that like I said, there's one of my monk stances literally adds to it.
Don't you also have a thing where you can just spend an exertion point to know whether somebody lied to you in the last minute?
It is.
You've got a little light that goes, bing! What's that light mean? Don't worry about it.
Are they hiding something? Do they have a secret agenda? Are they lying?
I really like these. They're good.
Or are they hiding their true nature?
I texted Jen when I was at the store and I was like, babe, Baja Blast is back in season. And there's new flavor.
Why even have insight?
Well, that's decent.
It's
now, I do have to be speaking with them for 1 minute.
Right.
And use an exertion point out of combat.
Let me know if you want me to unpause.
We're going to unpause. Okay, so apologize for that. We had my child was having a screaming fun day. Anyway, all right. So you guys are inside this small apartment or this whatever room.
Yeah.
Sure. What do you do?
I'm looking over the bed. I'd like to kind of thoroughly search around the bed and in, under, around.
Brock's gonna check the desk.
Sounds good. Brock, what I need from you is I need a intelligence investigation check.
That is a 19. Sorry, 18.
18. Okay. So you notice on top of the desk there is a oil lamp. At the base of the oil lamp, you can see that there is a bit of ash there, and some burned paper, which looks like there may have been some sort of piece of paper that was burned here at some point in time.
Okay.
Like maybe correspondence has been burned here. But in the state it's in, it can it would be excruciatingly difficult even through magic to be able to reconstitute it.
Got it.
Or reconstruct it. The bed, you don't even need an investigation check. Lying in plain sight on the pillow is a round disc of black stone. And upon that black stone, you see a symbol that you recognize. It is a stylized, the stylized monster's eye of Dask. Go ahead and give me a culture check, if you don't mind.
Is that charisma, wisdom, or intelligence?
Culture is intelligence.
Intelligence. Okay. 10.
10. Yeah, but that's good enough. This is a death mark. You've heard stories about such things, and and maybe during your training in the Dark Lanterns, I've heard of such things. A death mark. It's a threat.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like sent by Dask, left for Dalachar.
Telling you that you are on the list, like we are coming for you.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I kind of carefully pick it up. He sure was in bad standing with Dask. Death mark.
Okay.
I wonder if that's what spooked him.
Yeah, it seems pretty likely. I think Brock's just going to do a quick check of maybe the floorboards under specifically under the bed and under the desk.
You guys look further into this room and are unable to find anything else that really grabs your attention.
All
All right. Well,
get out of here before.
I'm holding it you want me to bring this or just leave it?
I'd say bring it with us.
I'll pocket it. And then as we exit, kind of very gently shut the window, I will use Mage Hand to relatch the window from outside.
I need a perception check for the two of you.
Yeah.
Is this an audible phenomenon?
It is not. Yeah. Actually, it can be, sure. Okay, you can apply that.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
Not that high. It is a 13.
So you pick up on this quickly after he brings your attention to this. As you're latching the window, you hear the sound of laughter. Again, it's the high-pitched laughter of the gnolls, and you hear saying, "I think they went around back. Oh yeah, they're hanging out around the Dalachar room. Yeah, finally. Been stuck here for too long." You hear voices down below, and this is the conversation that they're having. You can hear steps coming up the fire escape down below. There are 4 gnolls, and you can see that they're dressed in those leather hides, and you can see that you can look through the graves, you see that they're armed.
All right, back the other way. I will resummon Mage Hand, unlatch the window. Come on, go.
Okay.
And get us in, shut, and try to latch quick.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and see. Go and give me a. Okay, so all right, so you go ahead and do that, and so you rush back into the room, and you as you're kind of climbing through, you hear that hey, and you hear the sound of voices are getting quicker. So they're coming at the fire escape quick. What do you do?
Get in, shut the window, latch it.
Okay.
What are we doing in here?
Going back around the other way so we can dodge them.
Okay. Does the inn door have an interior like latch that can be opened, or is it only okay?
Yeah, so you look back towards the door, you can see that there's a lock on this side, and as you start going for the door, you can see a shape outside of the window. And like somebody's like trying to lift the window up. One of them, and you can hear a voice outside, "Get around front! Get around front!"
All right. Well, hopefully we don't have to fight, but we may have to. Yes. Let's go. Unlock the door.
Yeah.
All right.
Now dash.
You start making your way quickly downstairs. You hear the sound of glass breaking behind you, and you start to rush downstairs. As you get downstairs, you see the woman who's sitting behind the front desk. Oh, this. Where did you come from?
Don't mind us. And just
we're just on our way
keep
out.
running.
Wait! I just wanted to catch your names real quick in case you needed to.
No, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yep.
And as you took that moment to wait for her to speak, a knoll appears at the top of the stairs and kind of sees you and sort of just smiles and just starts walking down the stairs, kind of in your general direction. You guys rushing out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As you rush out, you see two more gnolls coming out of the alley, kind of coming out of the alley, and they also begin to follow you. What do you do?
So we're outside the building at this point.
You're outside the building at this point. You're outside in a crowded marketplace.
Yeah.
We lose them.
Yeah. Not heading immediately back towards the White Stag, but
trying to whatever we can
lose
to
them in the
lose them in the
crowd.
crowd.
Let's make this quick and simple. Let's go ahead and give me a group stealth check. Let's see. More than half of you have to succeed. So I guess roll stealth checks. If one of you fails.
16.
15. Good rolls.
Okay. You start making your way, trying to lose them in the crowd. You make your you get through the crowd, kind of winding your way through streets, and eventually you find yourself trying to get some speed by rushing down a back alley. And as you start running down this alley, you hear your heart sinks as you hear the sound of laughter as up ahead in the alley that you're attempting to take to try to get away. You're suddenly blocked off by two gnolls, and then you hear laughter from behind you, and you hear two gnolls behind you. You have been, in fact, you find yourself cornered in this alley. We're going to go ahead and take a moment here away from you two, and we're going to head back to the city record. So you have made your D is standing in front of a gnomish clerk in the birth certificates there, and she goes, "I'm sorry, miss. I just haven't. I don't. What did you say your name was? The name was again?
Deidre
Mills. Deidre Mills. I definitely Mills.
Yes.
Well, I'm not finding anything in my records here for Deidre Mills.
Okay.
I'm my apologies.
Is there anybody else? Like, how many Deidres are there?
We alphabetize by last name, miss. We don't by first name. That would be a terrible system. The system set forth by House Civis clearly implies we should go by last name, surname.
Okay, so what happens if an abandoned baby's found or something?
Well, typically an abandoned baby doesn't have identification.
So those people wouldn't be recorded here.
Well, I mean, I'm certain their birth certificates would have been. Were they born in a hospital? But does that mean that unless if the child somehow comes with their name attached, well, that can make things fairly difficult. I'm sorry, dear. I wasn't. I apologize.
No, it was a long shot. It was a long shot anyway. No one. I don't care. It's all right. I'll go. Thanks.
Okay. Well, you have a wonderful day.
Yeah, you too.
As you walk past, you see a halfling woman, like 9 kids in tow.
Oh, no.
She's going, I need to register for a 10th, and
no!
and 2 of the kids are playing harmonicas.
Oh, that poor man!
Okay, so you two meet up back outside of the city archives. And what's your next step?
Well, we got the information we need from Talus, so I said we go back and we regroup with the team.
Sounds like a plan. You get what you need in that?
Nah, it's no big deal. It was only shit. No big deal.
I could always have Clicks try to touch in and see if maybe it's buried somewhere.
I mean, you can. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think it's actually gonna happen. So.
Okay. Well, let me know. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's roll back.
You make your way back to the White Stag Manor. Did you go anywhere else in particular after meeting with your father?
No, I think I go back to the White Stag.
Okay. So the 3 of you end up back at the White Stag. The tavern portion is currently in. It's starting to get later in the day, so there are some people already trickling in, having a few drinks on the inside. Are you heading to the tavern portion, or are you heading upstairs?
Heading upstairs since we got this.
Okay, as you head upstairs, you hear excuse me, madame and sir. You see a half-orc woman in a very prim, proper outfit with short, trim haircut walk out, and she kind of walking from around the front. You see Gilda Dune. Miss D,
Yeah.
there was a message left for Miss Adelaide.
Okay.
Would you please ensure that she gets it? That we have some issues at the bar currently.
Oh yeah, of course.
Excellent.
I'm
Sure.
gonna open it.
Okay.
I read her mail all the time.
Okay. Sure. It is a. I'm sorry. Before, as you start to open it, she goes, and I'm sorry, we have not been acquainted.
RJ.
I'm Gertie Dune. I'm the manager of the White Stag.
Nice to meet you, man.
Pleasure to meet you. as
Great
well.
work around here. It looks fantastic.
Well, thank you. Are you a friend of the White Stag Company?
Newest member.
That is what we'll call me so far.
I see. I will have to. Shall have to adjust the payroll then.
Oh yes.
Thank you for informing me in the
I
middle
apologize.
in the middle of a lunch rush.
No rush on getting me on payroll. At your convenience. Do not rush.
Oh, I see. Well, I appreciate it. I look forward to becoming more acquainted with you, Mr. RJ. You said.
RJ, and if there's things I can help with, let me know.
Will do. I can let you know that we have things fairly well in hand.
It looks like it. It runs smoothly down here.
Well, thank you. As she walks by, she walks out. She goes, "That's why they pay me the big bucks," and goes back to the bar.
When she walks away, he goes from a military stance back to his a more soft stance again. Like it was clear as soon as she said "sir," he went into one and then dropped back out.
It is a message from Lord Cedron de Dinieth, requesting requesting the group's presence at Steelwind Manor at your earliest convenience.
That was quick. Nobles cash in.
And what is it? Steel Wind Manor.
That's the name of their home.
Okay.
Steelwind Manor. You have been there. So you soon arrive. Actually, probably on their coattails as they're walking back inside.
You got a message from Lord Cerdon Dinieth.
Lord Cedron, and I immediately am going to grab that and read it.
Yeah, he wants us at the house.
And I will tuck that away.
Why
hidden on my purse.
Why is he wanting us?
It does also specify it is a matter of matter of discretion.
Library, and I will explain.
Alright.
Going into the library and shutting the door. I believe, DJ, that when we had the little accident, I told you about owing a big favor.
Yeah.
It's to Lord Citron de Dinieth.
Lord Cedron de Dinieth, by the way, being the head of House Dinieth in Sharn.
There's a
No.
Lord Lord.
It's because of me.
Yes.
So there was no one else we could go to. We had to go to that guy.
Do you realize how expensive it is to bring someone back?
No, but I'm happy I'm back, so I appreciate this and will fulfill whatever favor we have to make for me to be alive.
The bringing back, on top of the discretion in bringing someone back off books, is madly expensive.
But it was.
And this was the resource I knew to try and tap into, and we did it for a favor.
Alright.
By the way, RJ, this is not something that Delft knows, as you chose not to tell him. When he asked why you looked like shit,
Oh yeah, I didn't tell him to die. Why would I tell him that?
because if he learns wind of why we're doing favors for Sadron, it could get messy, but it's your secret to tell, not mine.
So this is not only off
It's awful.
books,
It's off the
it's
book.
off
It's
off books.
Yeah.
Yes.
No need to document something that no harm, no foul. Pay this favor back. Done.
Once Colton
So,
and
which
Braak-
means any resources we use to resolve this favor is out of
Our own pocket.
our resources, not.
Preferably so, otherwise it will be a long explanation to Delft,
Yeah, because we can't document it. Or we have to rely on it, which I won't do.
or we have to tell him what we previously withhold, which he's going to be pissed at.
Why don't we just go with option A? Plan A. Do it by yourselves.
But it's good to look at what plans B and C are should we have to utilize them.
She's already starting to get on the right track here. I like you. You're starting to understand this already. Thank you. You are not yet.
Not you.
Well, so where are the other two? Have you seen them?
I've just returned.
We're going to go ahead now and shift back to the other two. You find yourself staying in an alley, and you are being closed in very quickly by 4 gnolls, armed with short swords covered in heavy leathers. One of them towers a bit above the rest, probably about 6.5 feet tall. That's kind of like that hunched hyena, these bipedal hyena men. And kind of walks forward and he goes, "Hey, Goth! I told you they'd done this, alley. Yeah, Goth! Hey, Graph! Hey, they are. Graph. Hey, they are." He goes, "Oh, you guys run so fast. Where you going?" "You're checking in on the gnome, Dalachar, ain't you? Ain't you? We saw you there."
I kind of hands up. We don't want trouble, gentlemen. We were just checking in on some information. He's not there. We're not interested.
There's no need for things to get messy.
We heard you
We're
say
all
at the
civilized folks.
We heard you say at the front desk you're friends with the with Dalachar. Oh yeah, friends. Yeah, we had it. Yeah, Grath, what do we do with to friends of enemies? Oh, well, they ain't our friends. They're our enemies too. He starts putting his hand on his on the hilt of his blade.
I can assure you, he's not a friend of ours. Just someone we're looking into information for.
How high are the roofs of the alley that we're in right now?
Here, one building is 30 feet.
Okay.
On the other side, it is 30 feet.
Boy, that's a high. That's a high roof.
But there are some. You see some of those like fire escape ladders and
Yeah.
such also up there. Okay.
Right, well, I have a feeling we're not going to be able to discuss this.
Oh, I discuss things, huh? Well, maybe you're friends with him. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're telling the truth, but maybe you got coin anyway.
All right. I'm willing to give a little coin to let this all just kind of go away.
Yeah, we can be reasonable. Money talks.
Very reasonable. How does 4 of them total?
Mhm.
How's 2 gold a head sound?
That's followed by actual laughter. They all being laughed. They're moving forward. It goes, "Oh yeah. What do I look like, a street sweeper? 2 gold? You know, how about instead of negotiating, what if how about I take your entire purse and yours too, and you get to walk out of here with your hides intact."
I don't know about that. Brock's gonna start pulling his big old knife out.
Without moving my hand, Colton will
a little surge of that normal energy comes down my arm, and a large ethereal scythe manifests in my hand. All right, we do this the hard way.
Okay, and we will jump into initiative. Colton, you have just summoned your scythe. What do you do?
The nearest one in front of me.
It's probably about 15 feet away. This is Graph, the one referred to as Graph.
Graph. I'm running right at Graph. And just bring in the scythe and try to bring it down on top of him.
Excellent. Sounds good. Go ahead and give me an attack roll, please.
With pleasure. 15.
As a hit, armor class of 14.
Apologies, I did not have my thingy ready. Oh, nice. Go ahead and do 13 max damage.
Wow! You cut heavily right through his armor, and you see blood just his blood just start gushing onto the ground as he kind of staggers and goes, ah!
And then, bonus action, I will hold my hand and cast Hex on the one next to him.
Yeah, now just a little bit further back because he had stuff forward. He's another 15 feet away.
Hex on the one behind.
Okay, so you go
Strength checks.
strength checks. Okay, and no save, right?
Nope,
No
no
save.
save.
Okay, excellent. We're gonna go ahead and move from you to them. The two behind you are going to rush you.
Sure.
The Grath is going to respond. The one that you had just hit with Hex is also going to respond. So here they come. Let's see what happens. The first gnoll that arrives to you is going to go ahead and pull out a short sword and takes a swing. But as he does so, you kind of were expecting this, and so on the next and you've already mounted a. Say what? I'm sorry.
I will just let you know my AC is 10 right now. So
Yeah,
that-
the nat 1 is going to make things very difficult.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So as that happens, he is then going to you have he has disadvantage on the second attack. I'm going to say with that nat 1. Does a unfortunately though a 10 is your armor class, so he does manage to hit you even with disadvantage. So that's going to be 3 points of damage as he nicks you there, and then he shoots forward with a bite. That's 3 attacks.
Biting.
3 attack. Bite. Ouch. Biting hurts. So he tries to bite you and manages to connect with the bite. This does a little bit more damage as he sinks in for 6 points of damage.
Okay.
And just kind of nicks you, and then you kind of pull back. You kind of just like latches on and like starts starts trying to leave rends in your shoulder. From the get off. The other one tries to take the opportunity. Kind of narrow alleyways though, but he's starting to try to maneuver around you, trying to close in around you, but not quite in the flanking position yet, or not quite there because they have to spin their whole speed getting to you. So it's going to go ahead and make a short sword. That one hits, dealing you a total of 4 points of damage. You're not mounting as good a defense against these ones, but then he is ally who you're kind of like trying to shake off. There, you need to kind of bump him into the other one. You got another nat 1, so which then gives him disadvantage. I'm going to have him give him disadvantage on this last bite attack as he tries to bite onto you, getting yet another nat 1. I'm going to let you as a reaction make an attack right now. So that's 3 nat 1s.
Yeah, I think he'll take the advantage as he's like lunging forward with the bite. He's gonna kind of try to check him with the knife.
Sure.
Yes, a dirty 20 to hit for 8 piercing.
Okay, that's a pretty decent hit.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the two on you.
Yes.
Okay, so the first Grath is going to kind of snarl. He's bleeding. He kind of rips out his sword there, and he's going to try to drive it into your chest.
I'm going to use the Scythe's weapon property of parry to once per turn until my next turn gain an expertise die on my AC.
For one attack.
One attack.
One
That's why I'm rolling before you tell me. So I'm getting +3, so 17.
Okay, well that misses him because he got a 15. So you manage to parry the first attack, but he comes in quick with the second attack, which also misses. You're able to kind of dodge out of the way there. But as you're focusing on the blade, he then leans in with a snapping jaws. So that's going to be a miss again. You manage to hold him up. The other one rushes forward though, trying to take advantage of you being very focused on this one, and he's going to slash at you with a short sword. This time he's going to connect with a 22. You're going to take 3 points of damage there. Then he swings again with the short sword, trying to get a quick jab in. That is a 21 versus your armor class, giving you another 5 points of damage.
8 total.
I believe you now have to make 2 saves against Hex, right? Because that's a concentration?
No, it is not a concentration.
Hex is not concentration.
I don't believe it is. I may be wrong. I'll make the concentration saves anyway. It's
Okay.
not okay. Cool.
No, sure, that's fine. Okay, and then the final attack is going to be with the bite, and he's going to go ahead and try to swing at you. That's going to be a miss, though, when he tries to get you with that bite. So that is going to now bring it from you, from them to Braak. Braak, it comes to you, my friend. It is concentration, by the way. Hex is concentration.
Hex?
So you need to make 2 separate concentration checks.
Do that.
DC 10.
DC 10.
I was like, no, there's no.
Got the first one.
Concentration. I was like, there's no way this is.
Got the second one.
Okay, so you managed to keep a hold of your hold of that. So we come to you, Braak. Braak, you've got 2 of these guys on you. One of which you managed to just hit for a not insignificant amount of damage. What do you do?
First things first, Braak is going to, now that blood has been drawn, he's going to say, all right, guys, you want to do this, we'll do this. He's going to go into a rage.
Yeah!
And then he is going to lash out with his big old knife, his short sword at the one that he hit already.
Same guy? Yeah, sounds good, sounds good. Okay, as we know, armor class of 14.
Yep. That misses, unfortunately, with a 12. I will... Sure, I'll try.
Usually once you announce it, but I'll let you use one right now, because you're in a fairly...
It's pretty bad.
You're in a perilous situation.
It's pretty bad.
Pretty bad. Definitely outnumbered.
It meets the 14 exactly for, I don't add damage to rage in this edition, so 9 piercing.
Wow, okay, so that one is actually looking absolutely horrible, is now staggering. It looks like he's giving the back in the alleyway a quick look, as if he's about to maybe break, you can take a run for it.
Okay.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go from Braak over to Colton. Colton, we're back to you. You've got two of these guys on you. Grath, who appears to be their leader, seems to be in pretty rough shape, but the other one's the one who's getting in those hits. What are you going to do?
I'm going to start by, as this guy gets a couple good hits on me, I'm going to kind of just... I'm going to use my Form of Dread. I take on, bonus action, take on the aspect of my patron, the smoky, misty ink pours out of me. I take on a ghoulish, ghastly visage, and you should have just taken the gold. And I will take a swing at the, I gain 10 temporary hit points.
Jeez.
And I will take a swing at the big boy.
Okay, excellent.
17 to hit.
That is a hit.
He is going to take +3/+3. He's going to take 15 damage. 4 of it is necrotic.
Your blade goes right through the chest of Grath, who you can see that he sort of like skin sort of just like shrivels a little bit, goes pale and sort of shrivels, and he goes. It's just like a dusty gasp emits from his mouth as he falls off of your blade.
That was the big guy.
Grath, right?
No, I went for the big guy who hit me.
Oh, the one who hits you.
The one who hit me.
No.
The big
Oh,
guy
I
who
thought you were
hit
going for the guy. Okay, because Grath is the big guy.
My apologies. I thought you said the big guy referred to another guy as Grath.
No.
My apologies.
No,
the one
Grath is the biggest.
Grath is the bigger guy.
The one I had.
Okay, so that one's also bleeding profusely all over the area. My apologies. So
No, it's
Grath
fine. And just because of the hex, some of it is necrotic, so I still imagine it's like. And he must make a DC 13 fear check against me.
Okay, he does succeed actually. He's laughing, although he's still eyeing the back of the alley. He doesn't seem to be focused on your form as much as he's focused on the fact that he's losing so much blood at this point. All right, we're gonna go ahead and go to them. First, what's gonna happen is the two that are in the severe shape are going to actually turn and bolt. So you guys, if you'd like, can take attack of opportunity against one that's bolting, or you get to take the attack of opportunity.
No, don't want to catch a murder charge right now.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. So 2 of them start to run off, and the other 2 are going to remain. So the one that's on you still is going to go ahead and try to come at you with that blade, swinging hard. He's going to miss with the first one, but he's going to hit with the second. You're going to go ahead and take a total of 3 points of piercing damage from that. Then he's going to come at you with that bite again. You're going to go ahead and it's going to be against 19, and you're going to take a total of 6 points of damage as this one bites into you, tearing flesh. Meanwhile, Grath comes in and goes, "Is that supposed to scare me? I've seen worse, boy." Alright, that's going to be a 20 versus your armor class. You're going to go ahead and take 8 points of damage as he stabs you full on with
Before his next attack, I will declare my 1 parry for the turn.
Okay.
Cool. 18 total AC.
You parry that one away, which then leaves him with his bite attack, which comes in at a 14 for strong class, which I don't. Does that hit your normal AC?
That will, even with Sartorial, that'll meet.
That'll meet, so you're going to take another 4 points of damage from that. So I believe that should more than expend your.
That is chewed into my actual HP.
Yeah, shooting your actual HP. Okay, so he's coming at you real hard, despite the fact that he's somewhat struggling to keep his footing. Meanwhile, we come back to Braak. Braak, you got this one guy on you. He hasn't been hit yet, but he's coming at you hard.
Braak is now bleeding pretty badly, but he doesn't seem to notice now that his rage is up.
Sounds good.
And yeah, he's going to first he's going to use a bonus action to try to catch his breath a little bit to give myself some hit points for 9. He will heal himself for 9.
Wow.
And then yeah, he is going to he'll lash out the one that's squared up with him.
Sounds good.
Critical hit.
Oh, wow. Okay, let's see what happens.
Well, okay. A lot of things are going to happen.
First, he explodes.
It's not a heavy weapon, so I can't use that.
Oh,
But
big fucking hunting.
I do still have savage attacks from my heritage.
Oh, that's right. Wonderful.
So okay, so that's a base damage of 16 plus another 2. So 18 damage.
Oh, holy, okay. So you nearly got this man. This gnoll is still standing, but he is not laughing anymore. His natural like starts to sound like
Meanwhile, Braak is starting to actually laugh.
So we've got laughter stopped.
Yeah.
You're starting to hear shouting coming from outside the crowd, confused shouting, starting to hear some confused shouting. We're gonna go ahead and go back to Colton. Colton, comes to you.
He took one more swing at me. I'm taking a swing right back at him. Is it a free action to drop a concentration spell?
Yeah.
Then Hex, I will drop off the one who ran, and I will recast it on my buddy here.
Sure.
No save, I believe we said, and I will take a swing at him. 16.
That's a hit.
Plus 3, 16 damage. 4 of it necrotic.
Whoa.
Now he shrivels, it gives this dry gasp as something sort of just leaves his mouth and kind of just soaks into yours, and then he just kind of falls to the ground with a thud.
I'll kind of turn back to look at the one still in front of Braak.
All right, we're going to go ahead and go to the one that's still in front of Braak, who now sees that he's alone. This one's now going to go ahead and take this opportunity to run like hell. Yeah. Do you take your reprisal?
No.
Okay, sounds good. You got the body of one of these gnolls here on the ground. You can hear some confused shouting. You know it's just a matter of time till the watch is going to be called. What do you do?
We need to leave. We need to go. We need to go.
Probably go up one of the fire escapes nearby.
Yeah. Is there a fire escape on one of these buildings?
Yeah.
Yeah, go up the fire escape, try to get to the roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just try to vacate the area.
Sounds good.
What's he getting?
I imagine, like, just before it fades, he just kind of,
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
and then it, gone.
And you make your way back to... I assume you guys then decided to make your way back to the White Stag.
Yeah, once it's cooled down a little bit.
You make yourself way back to the White Stag with the sounds of the watch being kind of whistled for off in the distance, and you leave Tavic's Market behind. It's getting towards the end of the day. Night is starting to fall by the time you guys make it back to the White Stag Manor and find the rest of your cohorts in the library.
So we found some stuff.
Yeah.
What happens?
Oh, nightlife, gnolls, desk.
This seems like paperwork.
Well, so we went to a hotel that we found out that Dalachar had been staying at an inn. He wasn't there, but a Dask death mock was waiting on his bed, and so was a Dask hit squad. They saw us and thought we must have been with him. We tried to reason with the gentleman. They did not want to see reason. We made them see reason.
Out of self-defense. Out of self-defense.
Yeah.
They clearly threatened us.
Wasn't a whole lot we could have done, unfortunately.
They cornered us in an alley.
Yeah, three of them got away.
Okay.
The one who was clearly their leader did not.
Yeah.
Did you leave bodies?
I wasn't going to try and move a body. I mean, it was clear that the commotion had been recognized. I did not have time to do anything with the body.
So we didn't find any information on the loose then?
Other than just that Dask is looking for him and does not know he is dead.
Well, that makes it interesting.
A gang of gnolls attacked you. 3 of them got away. You killed their boss, left the body.
What? Sorry. What do you suggest we do with the body?
Hide it. Do something. Don't leave a dead body that you guys can be attached to. That they know. They know, which means they can either turn you guys into to watch or come after you guys.
He's going over the manual. Don't worry about it. This is what he does. When
Right.
we got here, we went through a whole thing about paperwork and not telling stuff. So don't worry.
You'll have to forgive me, RJ. I truly thought that if we were caught hiding the body, it would make things infinitely worse.
Yeah.
We acted in the situation to get away before anyone else could catch a look at our faces.
Probably right, but I'm just...
If it makes
This
you...
could be a mess. I'm just saying this could be a mess.
I
So I
understand.
wonder if that means if they're still sending more out, and it might just be that the communicationists haven't caught up within Dask. Were the 2 that were chasing Dalachar that were hit in a blast, were they Dask or were they someone else?
They weren't Dash, they were Tom Squad Cannon. We just don't know which side they were.
She told us about
Darian
it.
says it's not his side.
Okay.
Right, but I thought that the other side, not his side, was potentially in cahoots.
They were moving in on territory. They're trying to take it from Desk. They're not trying to work with them. They're trying to take it, as far as I know.
Gang war. Also, we received a letter. We are requested with discretion by Lord Sadron to Meneth.
Oh, what already?
At
Yes.
our earliest convenience. It doesn't have to be right now. It can be tomorrow.
Discretion's
Do
our
the next day.
specialty.
It should be.
Obviously.
Do what? Sorry.
He just indicated that discretion was you guys' specialty. Today proved that to me.
It's discretion as long as it's not documented. So we just leave this off the books some more.
What time of day?
Eh?
You said it's night.
It's
No
evening.
reports?
It's getting evening. It's probably like 5 or 6.
What's,
This is why I
I
was...
suggest that
you've
we
already,
go
you've already
visit
left one off.
Lord
Why not a
Meneth
second
sooner
one?
rather than later?
That's
I
how-
understand if you guys, if the 2 of you can't travel right now, but I don't think it's a leave off for days.
No, I mean, I can put some. I can bandage
Let's
this.
just sleep on it for a minute.
Let's sleep on it. What did you all find? Good information, I'm assuming.
I mean, we've got plans for the building.
Hey! Good
Got
work.
a full schematic for her when she's doing her recon, plus if we actually get in, we will know the whole layout.
Best thing about the building is that there's a door outside the wall that leads directly inside, and a balcony with access from the roof.
My gosh, why don't they just leave the front door open for you?
We're probably gonna be guarded, no doubt about that. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
Stable's another entry point too.
And how about you and your dad?
The Lantars have been known to occasionally go to the Urtain Gala, which is the huge to do every month, which is for the wealthy, powerful, noble elite. My fathers have never received an invitation.
Neither have I.
Most don't. So they have been known to frequent that. Daddy was going to see, he hasn't, they're not like friends or anything with the Elantas, but they have spoken with them because they are Ondarian ambassadors, and again, our base of operations is in Ondare. But he was going to maybe try and see if he could get a word in. I told him I wanted to talk to them about the nimble right. I was curious. And I told him that we have 3 orphans. That's
It's gone well.
Yeah.
And on that note, I'm gonna go get some sleep.
I'm gonna get some food first, but yeah, I think a good night of rest has been a pretty productive day, it sounds like.
So you take your rest, get your food, and the rest of the evening goes fairly without incident. Next day comes, your final bit of fatigue and strife are gone. So you're feeling kind of back to your old self. What is your guys' first step in the morning?
I think we need to go see Lord Sidron.
Oh, not a bad plan in case it takes precedent.
Mm-hmm.
It could also potentially be relieved. That's maybe a stretch, but possible.
Since I don't know this man, but he obviously had enough money to pay for a back alley life-saving, would he be one that would have enough pool of money if we needed to get into said event to possibly get in?
I think we need to take care of one favor before
Agreed,
we ask for
agreed,
a second
agreed.
one.
But yeah, he's got a lot of money.
If
He
you're
got this-
asking if he's wealthy and powerful, yes.
He got a lot of money.
He had this big like garden thing full of butter moss. It's crazy.
Butterflies, dear.
Yeah,
It's just something
obviously
to be
they're
aware
flying.
of. I don't actually think that's our best
What's
way
your
of
button
communicating with them. But I don't think it's our best way to communicate with them, but it's something to be aware of. Is
Well,
who we know that would have access.
one option is if they were to say go to the next gala, that means that they won't be home during the gala. Something else to also keep in mind.
Very true.
It's a very good point.
Alright, well, to delay them.
Also remember, no weapons, no armor. Try to look your best.
Give
It's a
me
very
a moment.
particular part of town.
I really need to get
So
myself
I-
some good clothes.
I am going to make sure that I'm wearing my fancy clothes. I do not have my sartorial defense up, and I'm leaving my weapons and stuff at home.
Deidre obstinately dresses exactly the same as she dresses every day.
Colton will try to look his best.
Sounds good. So you guys head over to Upper Tavix Landing to the Copper Arch district. Copper Arch is named for a massive copper arch that stretches over the center of this business district. Streets here are filled with well-to-do citizens and professionals conducting business or heading to their homes and offices. As you guys enter the district, you are stopped at a checkpoint where you are then required to keep your weapons put away, have them peace bonded, and warned to and asked about what business you had. You show the letter. They then let you by. You then head to Stillwind Manor. Stillwind Manor's stark white walls and gleaming crimson roof and turrets stand out even among the other opulent estates of Copper Arch. It's a 3-story mansion that lies in the midst of a picturesque green garden dappled with hedges and water features. You can see a number of butterflies, even from this distance, fluttering about. The estate is surrounded by a tall white brick wall with a single wrought iron gate as its entrance. The Dinius house crest, 3 heads of a chimera on a field of purple, green, and yellow, is emblazoned on the gate, and armored guards stand at attention on either side. You flash the note. You're taken to the you're taken into the manor's foyer, where you see again the statues of the sovereigns depicted as dragons that you saw before. And it's not long until you are met by the aged tiefling dressed in the fine livery, bearing the colors of House Diniath, who comes to you and goes, yes, the White Stag Company.
Williford, good to see you again.
It's good to see you too again, sir. And he bows to you, Master Braak. Was it?
That's the one.
Wonderful to see you all again. And the master's my lord is awaiting you in his chambers. My lord and lady.
Thank you.
As you approach the chambers and wherever it leads you, you see the doors kind of swing open, and the doors are open. You see that Lord Sidron, an older man, sitting behind a desk, in a very fine desk. These gray streaks in his hair and neatly trimmed goatee. And he's got this very stern look as he's talking to a dark-haired woman with hair about mid-height, probably in her mid-30s, who's dressed in clothing of dark blacks and purples, kind of a strange get-up, kind of looking very stark compared to the very light colors of this household. He goes, and you see that he is engaged in conversation with her. You hear Lord Sidron is finishing the conversation with, we are aware of the date, and we'll contact you when we know more information. In fact, that's my next meeting, so please, if you don't mind. The woman turns around, she has very dark eyes and pale skin and dark lipstick on, kind of very goth look. Mm-hmm. This woman, and she kind of nods to Lord Sidron, and then as she starts walking out, she nods to you. You're holding up your finger.
I wanted to detect thoughts on her.
Okay. What's the DC?
Hang on 15. That's what it is.
You see as she walks by, you get the distinct impression of your mind. You see a clock where the timer is like a countdown clock, right? And the time is it seems to be almost running out, and you see it's a clock of gold, right? A golden clock. Time is ticking out, and you see this dark black claws closing over it. As the seconds tick by, countdown, the claw grabs even tighter. That is what you see in this woman's mind.
Okay.
Whoa.
As she nods towards all of you, excuse me, and as she leaves, you see walking in, kind of following behind you, is the silver-haired Lady Daediniath. Silver-haired Lady Annalise. You see that she has silver hair. She has a very strange dress on of Readran style, kind of a little sharp angles and such, but also a lot of strange areas to bare skin. Those Readrans with their strange getup. She has these piercing like ice blue eyes. She gives you, and you see the children, the two little ones, Ghassan and Galali, these two small children, of silvery blonde hair, sort of are kind of pulling at her skirts. Saying, please, mommy, can we go play in the garden, mother? And she goes, I have a meeting, my dears. You may go play in the gardens. Your father and I must speak to our friends here. And the kids look at you, and they see you, and they smile, and they go, Adelaide! And the mother, Lady Annalise, goes, Miss Oleander. And the kids kind of stop and go, Miss Oleander, and they kind of give it a curtsy and a bow.
Yeah, I curtsy to the children and also curtsy to the Lord and Lady, my Lord.
Lord Sidron goes, children, outside, please. And they rush outside, and you can see that that Lord Sidron has a very somber look to his face, and Lady Annalise has a look that you recognize as kind of like sadness in her eyes as the children run out. And Willifort, as you guys go inside the room, all of you, including the lady, he closes the doors behind you. Closes the doors behind you. And locks it. The whole room catches fire. No. I knew it.
Campaign over.
Lord Sidron says, thank you for coming on such short notice.
Of course, we know your time is valuable.
Well, and it's running out. Kind of takes a deep breath and sort of stops, and you see Lady kind of goes and stands behind her husband. There's a very clear age difference between the two, but she puts her hand on this handsome older man's shoulder, and she says, "You should just tell them. It would be easier to just get this out of the way." And goes, we have need of the favor that we have asked you. That is owed for the services rendered. I know that it may seem as a quick turnaround time, but I was assured that your recovery should be pretty well in hand at this point.
Thanks.
Events have transpired to where the timeline that we thought we had is, well, getting shorter by the moment. And she goes, honey, you're speaking in circles. You should tell them. He goes, begins with a little story. When Francis's mother died, years ago, I found myself in a very dark place. Having lost my wife, left alone to run an entire house, as well as my home, with two young boys that I struggled with finding a connection to. And with her death, no amount of funds or favors could reverse the condition that she found herself in. I sought avenues, shameful avenues, to try to find a way to bring my wife's spirit back to me. And through these avenues, a pact was made. Now we all are aware of the stories of the Keeper, the collector of souls, the hoarder of wealth. Well, whether or not the Keeper himself had anything to do with the path that I found myself on, those who traffic in his dealings certainly had power of their own. At the time, I thought love was lost. I thought that the deal that I made, I felt in my arrogance would never come to pass. The souls of my next two children. Power was given, though the results did not lead me to where I had wished to be. But in that time, I found new love. And places his hand on her shoulder. Places his hand on hers, which is on the shoulder. I found new love in Annalise. Yeah. And I found a new lease on life. And soon enough, we found that she was with child. They warn you to not make a deal with the Keeper, to not consort with their agents, and I thought that perhaps through faith in the proper path, that maybe I could find a way to change what I had done in my grief, the promises I had made as a broken man. I sought to do the work of the sovereigns. This is why we. He sort of breaks for just a moment. Sort of, just stops for a second and see your screen. She goes. He sees why the sovereign swords, why he joined to do good work in the world. Perhaps the sovereigns themselves will see the good work that he has done and change the fate of us, our children. I don't believe that is the case. I believe that my children on their 9th birthday, which is but a few weeks from now, that they will, in fact, lose their souls and be taken from us. And I wish to do everything in my power to keep that from happening.
Aye, the dark god of death and deals always comes to collect.
You say that as if you have experience.
More than you could ever imagine, my lord. More than you could ever imagine.
I'm sorry for that.
Does it have anything to do with that lady?
Yes.
Who's she?
One of many who remind me of the time that I have left, the time that we have left with our children. There may be a way out of this. There's a ritual that can save them, but it requires a significant sacrifice. Financial sacrifice. Now, we are not without means. But in this ritual is required that a one shy of 1 million gold coins must be sacrificed to the keeper in trade for the lives of our children. We believed during the last war that this would not be a problem. I've known about this way out, but with the advent of House Thrashk using Dromish mercenaries to supplement armies, that took a hit into the house's coffers. And I dare not take... we have scraped and we have saved the... tried to cash in as many favors as we could, but we are not there yet. And we will not be there before the time comes. That is where you step in. I'm sure you are aware of the disgraced counselor, Lord Dalachar Nelville.
Yes.
Yes.
Run out of town after being found out for embezzlement of a significant amount of funds. In fact, I've looked over the numbers, and it is believed that he has a cache of 500,000 gold somewhere in the city. We have reason to believe that this is true. Which is just about what we need to make it the rest of the way. Now, we look to you. We believe that if you can help us find this sum, and we don't need all of it, we would certainly be willing to cut you in on whatever we don't need. And I've looked over the books. The funds have already been written off as a loss, and the city has been paid back through the crown. So the money is not on any books. We have great need of it. So I'm asking you, I am begging you, please help us. Please help my children.
How much time do we have?
Today is the 26th of Lavian. The twins' birthday is the 13th of Baracus. 2 weeks. Give or take.
Do you have any kind of leads about where this stash of money could be? By chance, my lord.
We know a bit of information. Lord O'Neill, there is a device. Through our research of this, we have come to the knowledge of a artifact known as the Stone of Galore. A keeper of secrets, it is believed. At one point, Lord Onelville was known to be in possession of this stone. I believe that he used that stone to hide the secret of his wealth.
So find the stone, find the wealth.
That is correct. Of course, things are made a little more complicated by the fact that the stone is not one item, but rather multiple.
There are multiple pieces of it.
Yes. When the pieces are collected, stoneworks as function, we happen to be in possession of one of those pieces.
Do you know how many there are?
I would believe around 3 more.
Do they attract or interact with each other in a way that one would help us find the others?
Not that my research has been able to determine.
Was there anything else that you found in your intel?
We aren't the only ones looking for the stone.
Yes.
Of course not.
Do you know who he is?
I'm sorry?
Do you know who is
Specifically?
generally?
Anybody with a need for 500,000, for 500,000 gold, I would imagine.
I think we have a couple of ideas of some of them.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to understand, were my house to know of my discretions, I would lose everything and my children would still be dead. This is why I come to you, not to them.
Your secret is very safe with us, my lord.
No amount of appealing to the city guard, no amount of years of time, years of my life have been spent trying to change this, and there is no other way that I can see. So when I ask you of this is, I know that I place the fate of not only myself and my wife, but my children in your hands. So when I say that this is a matter of discretion, well, you hold a lot of power right now. Will you do this for me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. You see a smile crosses anyone's face, like a kind of a relieved smile, and Sidron like looks at you and goes, sort of just nods. Good. He stands up and he extends his hand. We'll say he extends his hand and goes, "We have a deal then."
Yes, my lord.
Can you show us the piece you have?
Sure.
May we ask, and this is not contingent on us doing this, but when it is all said and done, that we're allowed to keep it
The stone?
stone. It could assist us in future endeavors.
Us as well.
Or could we at least work a business agreement in for access?
None of this agreement will be written down on paper, and I'm
Agreed.
sorry, we have not actually been introduced.
No, we have not. I'm RJ.
Yeah, was supposed to meet you, RJ, but the stone we can discuss the stone at a later time. For right now, I would prefer that the focus be less on trying to leverage this opportunity and rather make good on what is owed.
I understand.
Good.
My lord, a question for you. These advocates for the Keeper, do they come to you, or do you know by chance where to find them?
They're of no concern. As long as if you can put your focus into getting this gold, they will not be a problem. I've seen the terms of the deal multiple times. I've gone over it with the best and brightest that we have. It's not a concern for you.
Can I do an insight check on him?
Sure.
Oh, no. 11.
He seems to be very earnest from what you can tell.
Can I exert to get a yes or no if he has any other intent? Or I guess the actual question is he hiding any intent?
Is he hiding any intent?
Any other intent?
When it comes to the topic of the stone,
No, of...
I'm giving you your answer.
Okay.
When it comes to the topic of the stone, you note that he gets very stone-walled about that. The rest of it, he seems to be very earnest. And from what you can tell up front, although you do note that you're not getting certain details, especially as he just asked about the contact with the keeper. You get the belief that he would far prefer that you focus on the task asked and not look too much further into it beyond his situation, but rather solving the problem.
Gotcha.
That's the impression that you get. Okay. He will call Willifort in. Call Willifort and said, "Mr. Crowell, would you please retrieve the stone?" And he goes, and you see the doors open. And you see, yes. Will you please retrieve the stone for us? And he goes, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yes." And Willifort leaves. Always goes, "I want to thank you so much." He kind of steps forward to all of you as he's talking. He goes, "I want to tell you what you are doing for my children, for my husband. He's a good man. In a moment of desperation, he made a terrible decision.
Of course.
But I want you to know that I deeply appreciate what you are doing. And I know that this is... we will owe you, I believe, if you are able to save the lives of my boys, and my boy and my girl."
Of course. But
Willifort comes back in. He's got a small box, a small like mahogany box, and hands it over to Lord Strawn, who then takes it. And he turns to you and he opens it. And inside, you see what looks like a black, like pearl, or kind of pearl about the size, about this big. And as he opens it, you see that it sort of spins. And you see that there's this red slit in the middle on the inside. It looks like an eye. It's like sort of just like kind of dark looking, like the eye just sort of moves as if it's looking at each one of you. He shows it and he closes it quickly.
Did it look to be like a complete sphere?
Yeah.
From what we could see?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It's about a small sphere about this big, like something that you would find like a marble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could fit neatly into a locket, for instance.
Yes.
Okay.
This is a portion of the stone, an eye. The shape of the stone includes 3 such eyes, as well as the stone itself, which the eyes fit into. Once these pieces are brought together, we believe we could then use it to figure out the secret of Arnelview's enigma.
Yes.
Well then,
Sounds like we've better get started sooner rather than later.
yes.
and please remember it is the 13th of Barack's. Just a little over 2 weeks. But I believe that you are all very capable people. I believe that you will come through for us.
So, may I ask, have you told Francis at all? Does he know any of this?
Yes. No. And I would appreciate it if Francis did not find out. I fear, and you see Emily sort of gets a look in her face, like, fine. And kind of like rolls her eyes just a hair. And he goes, I know that I have not been the greatest father to him, and were I able to change that, I would. But I believe the damage to my son has been... Well, the damage is done. I would prefer that he not be given any reason to see me as less than he already does.
I don't ask, sir, with any intent of sharing. It's not my information to share, just merely wondering if he knows the stakes.
He is not. Well then, if you find information, please let me know as soon as you can. Otherwise, I have business to attend to, as I'm sure you do as well. And again, as I mentioned before, we don't plan on using all of it. We are willing, if the amount is what it says it is, we will be cutting you in for your work and time. I know that running a business and being an adventurer such as yourself can be expensive, so thinking a sum of 20,000 would be agreeable.
Yes.
I'm more than agreeable.
Excellent.
Yep.
Williford will show you to the door. Thank you for your time. And we'll go ahead and end the session there.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
It all comes back. Actually, my lord, it is of great interest to me and very relevant.
So we're gonna go ahead and start off with you. Actually, how is Colton feeling about that information?
I found a kindred spirit in depression and despair. So yeah, other people really do get screwed over by this. Like, it's not just a little bit of folklore that just happened to happen to him. It is a thing. People really do sell their souls to death for deals and bringing people back. Like, there was physical shock in me as the player. Like, that... Colton is speechless, but he will do anything he can to help this man. Because if he can help him, maybe it can in some way vicariously make him feel a little bit better about his own situation.
Plus, I would imagine that if this man is able to find a way out of his to honor the deal without in this way, perhaps Colton can find another way as well. Yeah.
What is?
Just gotta fish up another cool 1
Right.
mil.
Did you like that line? The dark god of death and deals always comes to collect.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. Say this as if you have experience.
Oh.
Right. Dennis, how's RJ feeling about the situation?
Seeing as this is not a direct assignment, and the person having us do this favor doesn't seem to be wanting to discuss anything besides the immediate thing he needs or wants. RJ feels very questionable. It feels like a spec op that could go real wrong real quick. Go tits up without having any idea why. So he's nervous. He's not against the actual actions of doing it, but he feels like more information is needed before they just, offer their wrists up.
Yep, I can get that, absolutely. Yeah. Cassie, how's Adelaide doing? It's kind of close to home for her.
I mean, it's very much personal for Adelaide, given her close friendship with Francis and the children who she teaches and who she cares about, and she's not on a personal level with Sadrin and Annalise, but like seeing them as good people. And I mean, he is Francis's father, and caring deeply about this family as a whole, and also feeling very honor bound because he saved her friend Dee Dee. beyond the caring about, like, even if Dee Dee wasn't a part of it, she cares about this family and what happens to them. So it is, I think it is very personal for her.
How's Brock feeling?
Brock is feeling like, wow, is this just what fathers do? Endanger the lives and souls of their families?
You don't even have to be a father to do it.
Yeah. I don't think
This campaign has a lot of adopted orphans, shit fathers, and twins and triplets.
Yeah, it's the theme.
Apparently.
But yeah.
I love you, Dad. If you're watching, I think you're great. Continue, sorry.
I mean, how do I follow that up? But
You know.
no, I mean, I think he is probably just innately distrustful of Cedrin at this point. But he knows Adelaide has a personal stake in this family, and also if this dude's intentions of fixing his mistakes are genuine, he sees no reason not to help him, especially since the alternative is letting 2 innocent kids die.
Last year, I decided to interview you because this whole deal came about because of your character's death.
Yes.
So, how is Dee feeling currently?
I mean, G always chafes at owing a debt. Like, she doesn't want to be in someone's pocket, especially someone of this level's pocket, because she's expendable, and people of her station are typically used by higher echelon people as fodder. But she is on her round to complete his request, and she was completely fine with it until he was asked directly about the stone after what had happened. And when he did not give something as, I don't care about the stone, she's now suspect of his entire intention because he's already making plans to something after this event rather than being completely absorbed by it. And so now she's suspect of him completely.
Makes sense. I can understand that. There's definitely something else. When it comes to that stone, there's definitely something else circulating on that particular subject. So, I believe you guys have been hearing about the Stone of Galore for quite some time, and now you found out a good amount of information. Yet also, did you really? Because now you know that the stone is known as a keeper of secrets. Well, what does that mean? And what it's not, and while it may hold the secret of Ernelvi's enigma, that's only one secret. What else may be held within the stone?
I like that information.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and be done for tonight. Hey, ladies and gentlemen at home and spider people, as we've discussed, thank you so much for watching tonight. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as we enjoyed playing, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
And I couldn't come up with anything in the basement.
Hey!
You tried.